But I think you're all up to the task. I mean, I'm familiar with several of you, even though you don't know it. And some of you are leaders, some of you are brave, and you're going to need to do that because the upcoming year is going to be an interesting year. And so I'll just speak briefly on what's coming in the next year. The Republican Party needs to shift into being more of a community service organization. It needs to be. It needs to start having more local events. It needs to have events, music oriented events, the arts, sports, concerts, musical performances. In some of these neighborhoods, the Republican Party needs to start having concerts involving merengue, bachata, salsa, all of that. As an example. We're proposing that community centers be implemented in some of these communities. So, for example, they were very successful in Miami, the southern border of Texas, and long-time Democrat strongholds were flipped Republican in many of these areas. So we are going to push for that, and that's one of the reasons why we're here. The third one is we want more Hispanic and Black candidates, and so the idea is you guys are early and you guys are doing it correctly. So there was some discussion back and forth on whether this event should be had next month, end of January, even February, and I said no, that's unacceptable. Is this event planned with relatively short notice post-election? Yes, but we did the best we can, and it's important that we meet, that you all meet, and that there's certain communities, subsectors here. There's folks from the anti-vax movement that I really followed and I really loved, and there's some outspoken leaders here, and I'm glad that you're all here and that you're beginning to unify under the Republican banner like this. And so I guess I'll just move on to the speakers. We're going to have 4 speakers in total with us tonight, 4 candidates rather. And then we also have our great friend Dion Powell. And so,
Clap for him, not me. Clap
I'll introduce you when we come to talk. But a lot of the things that I've been saying, how many times was I out? And who's the number one person that we always see? It's Dion. And so here I am giving this speech, but I'm not the only one thinking this. Dion is thinking this as well. And so that's significant, that we appreciate our friend Dion here. That's why I felt it was so important that he joined us. He's not a candidate for city council, but I made an exception because he's such a critical coalition builder, and we need people like him. So with that said, I'm gonna move on. And I'd like to introduce our first speaker, Grace Marrero. And so Grace is running for District 13 in the Bronx. And I'll pass
That's right. BX Borough, baby. Yeah, Grace.
Wait, this is bigger than me.
Stand next to it.
I know. So thank you so much for having me here. My name is Grace Marrero. I know some people know me as a different name, but we'll go into that later. I'm basically running because I'm tired of seeing what these politicians are doing, what these elected officials are doing, not listening to the community, not representing the community. I'm a law and order candidate.
Ooh.
I am 100% with the police. I'm on the precinct council at the 49th precinct.
Yes.
And so, not everybody's perfect, but the majority, the police, we need the police. I mean, that's the bottom line. And this defunding rage that's going on has got to stop. The developing that's going on in everybody's neighborhood. They're hitting us with everything, everywhere, in every single part, so that they want us to be overwhelmed and overloaded, so that while we're over here trying to put this fire out, they're starting another fire here, and then there's another one here. So we really need to stand together, whether you're from Brooklyn, the Bronx, we need to all get together at some point and support each other to stop these things that are going on. Because, I've told people before, it's happening in my neighborhood, but they don't want to support us to try to stop it, so now it's happening in your neighborhood. Now what? Now what do you do? Where do you go? Can't go anywhere. So you have to fight it at the source, which is the elected officials. Right. This nonsense that there's a housing crisis. There's no housing crisis. They created this problem. They they support people in shelters. They'll pay thousands of dollars for people in shelters, but they won't help the person that needs help paying their rent. That's $1,000 or $1,700 a month. They'll pay thousands a week, but they won't help somebody with a monthly rent. This is, and so now people get forced out, have to move, and now you have a housing crisis. They've also what do you call it? They had with the housing. I just meal. When you
Assistance?
no when you have the housing, it's protected. I can't.
Rent stabilized?
There you go. Yeah, the rent stabilized.
And rent control.
The rent control. They have decontrolled and destabilized thousands.
That's right.
Thousands of apartments. This is another factor. So now people have to move, and you have a housing crisis. Then the other issue is this: when now they have these lotteries, you have the AMI. Everybody know what the AMI is? The AMI is some convoluted equation that somebody came up with. That I don't know about in Brooklyn, but in the Bronx, we are connected. They have us connected to Westchester.
That's
County,
right.
which is why Scarsdale. Well, over there where they have a higher income. In Scarsdale, White Plains, everything up in Westchester. So we're in that same bubble.
Right.
So it raises our AMI to a level that we don't have. We don't make that kind of money that these other people make.
And that's the area median
Median income, right.
Right.
That's gotta change. I know that's a federal thing. Now, I'm in AOC's, well, actually, I was in AOC's district.
Whoa.
I met with her back when she first started running. I knew Joe Crowley.
Ooh.
And I was tired of Joe Crowley because all he was doing was Trump bad, Trump this, Trump, everything Trump, but he wasn't doing anything for the community.
Orange man.
Exactly. Well, this is before they started calling him Orange Man. But Joe Crowley did nothing. He basically thought he was going to sail through. And I spoke to AOC, and I almost campaigned for her. I asked her point blank. I said, if you win, are you going to work with Trump or you're going to be fighting him? She said, oh no, by all means, I'm going to work with him and yada yada.
This is the first time. This is the first time she
She
ran.
lied to my
Maybe, I don't know,
face.
she's retired.
She lied to my face. Then like not too long after that is when she started with the bashing the Trump. So I was like, no. So now I'm not in her district because they redistricted. So now I'm in Richie Torres' district, but I was in her district until recently. And so it's going to be a hard battle to get on the ballot, but I'm hoping I would have the support of people here.
How many signatures are required in order to get on
Well,
the
that
ballot?
depends. If I'm not exactly sure for city council. I did try to get signatures for assembly, but I didn't have the right amount of people to help me, so that didn't happen. But I'm not sure for city council. Dion, can you say how many signatures?
Hey, you put me
We'll
on the
get back
spot.
to you on that. We'll
I'm
look
camera
that up.
shy.
But whatever it is, whether it's 100 or 300, 500. I don't know if they're still going by COVID rules because they lowered the amount of signatures needed when COVID was in full swing.
That's
So
right.
it might still be on that. So I'm trying to get things done in my community. Where I live, we really don't get services that we need. It's deteriorating, and the police can't do anything. This is how they have to fight crime. They can't do anything.
Right.
So this is why it's not like I've been dying to jump in, but I'm at a point where I gotta jump in. I have to. This is something that I have to do because somebody's gotta say something. Somebody's gotta be vocal about it. I usually don't have a filter, right, Charlene?
She's from the Bronx too.
I usually just tell it like it is. I don't like to play games. I'm too old for that. I don't know. Should I say my age? No. I'm older than you probably think. So it's just I don't play those games. I just don't do it. I've been a community person for years, and I've always done stuff for the community, whatever's good for the community, not because for money or for anything like that. So that's what I plan on doing. That's what I would like to do. And I hope I get the support. If you guys would like to email me, my email is Grace Marrero. That's GraceMarrero.ny.citycouncil@gmail. So I know it's a long one. I mean, I can make a new one and make it short, but
270 if you're lucky.
270.
Wow.
270.
So anyway, thank you so much for having me. I hope I didn't talk too long. Yes.
Do you have any social media? Do you have any social media
I-
pages or anything like that?
I have social media for something else, but not for this.
Okay.
This I gotta get going with this. I'm not giving out my private well, it's not really private. All my stuff is public anyway, but it's a different name. It's a different name, but I can give that to you after if you
All
want.
right, sounds good.
I mean, yeah, I post a lot. I've been in Facebook jail. my picture's on the wall somewhere in somebody's office. Probably. Thank you so much, and good luck to all the rest of the candidates, wherever you are.
Yes, great.
Together. Okay. Thank you.
There you go.
Oh.